All right, so the computer cut me off. Welcome back to our talk about our meeting about inclusive classrooms and what it looks like. So we left off when we were discussing different learning styles, and we were talking about children may learn differently and how we have teachers and support systems in place to help children's learning needs. And there are opportunities to talk to your teacher and have a meeting, and we can have extra assessment to see if a student can get a, um, a physical therapist if needed, or a occupational therapist, or a speech therapist, music therapist, one-to-one support teacher, an extra special ed teacher to help provide adaptive instruction for that student. You know, like we started before we got cut off in the last Zoom meeting. You know, that student who learned hands-on, that special ed teacher could pull a smaller group together to be able to work with students that way as well. Because maybe the child just needs less students during instructional time. And that's where a special education teacher would come into place. She would be able to come and pull the smaller group, work specifically with those students, and keeping in mind all of the their goals and what they need to work on, and to help them to get the most out of their education. Now in our next meeting, parent meeting, we're going to talk about what an IEP is and a 504 plan is. These are plans basically, and goals, educational goals set by parents, teachers, and all of the educational village that we talked about before. So please sign up for that meeting if you want to know more about that, the difference between a 504 and an IEP. An IEP stands for Individualized Educational Plan. It's just a plan, and you have the goals. So for example, that plan could be, just to do a summarized version of that, maybe a student needed to work with the physical therapist twice a week for 30 minutes. That would be in the Individualized Educational Plan, the IEP, or the 504 plan. And like I said, we'll talk about the differences between those two at another meeting. But if you are a parent and you are concerned for your student and you want to start working with a plan, you know, just talk to your teacher about calling that meeting. And it's basically like a strategy session. You work together, you talk about your students, and you make a plan. And guess what? Plans are adaptable. So let's say plan A didn't work, like we were talking about before. That walk, that was too much stimulation for that student. That student came back super excited because he saw his favorite librarian, and so now he was pumped, and he did not want to come back and learn. He wanted to go back to the library, and that was a distraction and not a helpful strategy. Well, guess what? Now we make a plan B, and that's okay. It's constantly evolving and constantly changing, because that's how you learn and that's how you grow. You learn what works, and sometimes to learn what works, you have to learn what doesn't work, and that's okay. All right? So if you have any questions, please meet with me after. I would love to sit and talk with you. If you have to shoot right off of here, feel free to send me an email. We can call. I can talk to you at another time on a phone call, or we can send emails, or we can have a personal Zoom. You just let me know what works for you, because just like our students, we all may need something a little different, and that's okay. So again, thank you for coming. I'm going to try to make this short and sweet. You have a wonderful day, and goodbye.